Hello, students. So let's review about writing and graphing inequalities. So what's an inequality? It says here that it is a mathematical sentence that compares expressions. For example, it's 5 is less than 10 or 20 is greater than 3. So that's a comparison between two expressions. Now, it also shows a relationship between two expressions that are not equal. So when we compare two expressions, we use these four symbols, okay? The first symbol is our less than symbol. Our second symbol is our greater than symbol. The third one would be similar to a less than symbol, but it has a line underneath, so it is a less than or equal to symbol. The fourth one is our greater than or equal to symbol. Now, how do we know if it's a less than or greater than symbol? What's the easier way to remember it? Now, looking at your number line, as you can see, when you look at your number line, the arrow pointing to the right, this one right here, shows that all numbers are getting greater or bigger, right? Now, the arrows pointing to the left tells us that the numbers are getting smaller, or the value is getting smaller. So if it points to the left, it's less than. If it points to the right, it's greater than. If it is a line underneath it, then it has a second phrase that says or equal to. And of course, it follows where it points at. Okay? So the number line also helps us to show possible solutions of an inequality. Now, I'll tell you more about that later. All right. Now, in our notes, we also have these in your Google Classroom. So make sure you review these notes. So these are your notes. This is the less than sign, and these are the words that pertains to the symbol. Now, this is the greater than sign, and these are the words that pertains to the symbol, and so forth. So please review this, and these are how we graph the inequalities, and I'm going to go over that later on. So let's do our first example, okay? So in our first example, it says here you need to write each scenario or word sentence as an inequality. So the number one says the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. So when you say speed limit, what does that mean? Do you go over 55 miles per hour or is it under 55 miles an hour? What does that mean? Speed limit would be your maximum limit, maximum speed, right? So that means your speed should be what? Less than or equal to 55 miles per hour, right? So how do we write that as an inequality? So we can represent speed as S. So S should be less than or equal to, so that means less than or equal to 55. So that is how we write our inequality. So make sure that you make sense of the phrase less than or equal to. Now, the second one, I have no more than $25 in my pocket. So how much money do you have? Do you have $25 or more, or do you have $25 or less? When you say no more than, so that means you have $25 or less. Very good. So your money is either equal to $25 or less than that. So that means I have less than or equal to $25 because no more than means less than or equal to 25 bucks. Make sure you make sense of the problem again. Now, make sure you use the right symbol. Number 3, it says you should be at least 18 years old or in order to vote. So you should be at least 18. When you say at least, what does that mean? Can you vote when you're 17 years old, or can you vote when you're 19 years old? Can you vote if you're 18? So at least means you should be what? 18 years old or older. So that means more. So equal to 18 or more than 18 years old. So that means your age, right? Your age should be more than or equal to 18. So how should we write that out? So let A represent your age. Your age should be more than or equal to 18 for you to vote. Now, number 4, you have less than 5 minutes between classes. So that's pretty easy. Less than is this symbol, points to the left. So you have less than 5 minutes between classes. So you have 4 minutes, you have 3 minutes, you have 2 minutes, or you have 1 minute between classes. Now, number 5. Now let's try this out. A number B, a number B times 1.5 is no more than, so is no more than 24. So what does the word is no more than pertains? Is it 24 or higher, 24 or lower? Absolutely. That means it's 24 or less. So that means a number B. So B, it says times 1.5 is no more than. So it's 24 or less than 24. So less than or equal to 24. So how should we simplify these? B times 1.5 is the same thing as saying 1.5b is less than or equal to 24. It's always the coefficient first, the number first before the variable. Okay, don't forget that. Now, let's try to do number 6. The sum of a number t and 8 is at least 17. So that means at least is either 17 or higher, right? Or more than 17. 17 or more. So 17 or more. That's what at least means. So the sum means to add. So you're adding the number t and 8, which is at least, so 17 or more, so more than or equal to 17. Make sure you use the right inequality symbol. Let's do number 7. 11 is 11 less than a number m. Is greater than 0. Now look at the difference. This says 11 less than. It doesn't say 11 is, it does not say 11 is less than. It says 11 less than a number m. That means we are subtracting 11 from m, then is greater than, that means it's more than 0. So more than 0. So we're subtracting 11 from m, which results to it's more than, so is greater than 0. So this is our statement. Now, let's graph inequality. Now remember what I said earlier, using the number line can show us the possible solutions. For example, if I say I have, let's say the money I have is less than $10, that means I have either $9, oops, $9, I have your $8, or I have $2, right? That's the possibilities that I have. So the number line shows us that a range of solutions. Now, for example, z is less than -1. So on the number line, let's make sure that we label them properly, okay? Now, You can put 0 as your center in the middle of the number line. It's up to you how you do it. So make sure your number line are properly marked. So this is 1, this is 2, this is -1, and this is -2. So when you say z is less than -1, what could z be? What are numbers less than -1? Those are either -2, it could be -3, it could be -4, it could be -5, right? So these are numbers that are less than -1. Now, if I say is negative, oh, if I say is -1 less than -1, no, -1 is not less than -1. So that means -1 is not part of your answer, is not part of your solution. So when we graph this, that means -1 is not part of your solution. So it's an open circle. It means that -1 again is not part of your solution. But you start to shade all the numbers pointing to the left. So you start to shade all the numbers pointing to the left of the number line, and that all the it goes all the way to the left. It's infinity. So all the numbers to the left are your solutions, are your possible solutions for z. So z could be -2, z could be -3, z could be -4, -5. But z is not -1. So -1 is not part of your solution. That's why our circle is an open circle or unshaded circle. Okay? I hope you get that. Now, number 9. We have -12 is greater than or equal to w. So what are numbers that are greater than or equal to -12? That could be what? -12 is greater than or equal to -15. It could is -12 equal to -12? Yep, we could put -12 as part of your solution because -12 is equal to -12. Also, -12 is greater than -15. What else? -12 is also greater than -20. -12 is also greater than -30. Absolutely. So it's easier to graph when the variable is on the left side of the inequality. So I'm going to switch this w, this variable from the right side to the left side. And I'm going to switch the -12 to the right side, because we usually read a mathematical sentence from left to right. Now, if I switch this, that means my w now is going to be what? Less than or equal to 12. Now make sure I also switch the inequality symbol, because that means I'll be bringing all these numbers on the left side. That means -20, -30, -15 now are less than or equal to 12, a -12. So if I were to graph this, I can graph, let's say, -10 right here, -12 here, -14, -16, -18, -20. Now, do I need to start at 0? Not necessarily. Remember, a number line represents a range of solutions for our inequality. So let's graph this. It says w is less than or equal to -12. So I'm going to, is -12 part of your solution? We say yes, because -12 could be equal to -12 as well. Remember, our inequality symbol means less than or equal to. So -12 is also part of our solution. So we're going to use a closed circle. So this is a closed circle, or it's easier when you describe it as a shaded circle. Okay? So so -12 is part of our solution. So we also mark -12, and it points to the left. We shade the left side of the number line. This shows that all these shaded portions are the possible solutions of your inequality. So W could be negative 18, it could be negative 16. Now let's try number 10. It's a positive number, so it should be easier. K is less than or equal to 5. What could K be? Could K be 3? Is 3 less than 5? Yes. Is 5 less than or equal to 5? Yes. Is 0 less than 5? Yes. So we have a lot of possible solutions for K. Now, in this case, let me graph 5. So I'm going to say 5 is here, this is 6, this is 7, and this is 4, this is 3, this is 2, and this is 1. Your tick marks should be equally spaced. So pardon my tick marks. And this should be 0. Now, is 5 part of your solution? Yes, because it says less than or equal to 5. So I'm going to mark 5 with a closed circle or shaded circle, and it points to the left. That means all our answers to the left side of your point should be the possible solution. So I'm going to shade all these part of the number line because these are our possible solutions for K. Because it's an inequality. There's a lot of possible solutions for the variable K. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So let's do checking solutions. It says tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. So again, we need to tell whether the given value, and that would be this right here, is a solution of the inequality. So what is our inequality here? This is our inequality statement. X over 4 is less than or equal to 3. And the given value is x is equal to 20. So when you check solutions, what you need to do is make sure that you plug the value in to x. You substitute x with its given value, which is 20. So again, our inequality is x over 4 is less than or equal to 3. Now I need to substitute the value of x, which is 20, and plug it into x. So it's going to be 20 over 4 is less than or equal to 3. Now simplify. What is 20 divided by 4? And that gives us 5. So is 5 less than or equal to 3? Is this statement correct? And it is not. 5 is not less than or equal to 3. So the given value, which is x equals negative 20, is not a solution of the inequality. It does not make our comparison true because 5 is not less than or equal to 3. Now, let's move on to number 12. For number 12, our inequality symbol is, or our inequality statement is 13n is greater than 26, and our value given is n is equal to 5. So what we need to do is plug in 5 into n. Now, if we have 13n, this means it's a product from 13 times n, which is greater than 26. So 13 and n is being multiplied, so that means 5 should be multiplied into 13, which is greater than 26. Now let's simplify 13 times 5. So 13 times 5 is 65. So is 65 greater than 26? Yes. So n equals 5 is a solution to the inequality because it makes the statement true. 65 is greater than 26. So 5 is one of the solutions to this inequality. Okay, let's do number 13. So y minus 10 is less than 2. And the given value for y is 12. So let's do this. Y minus 10 is less than 2. And again, the y equal to 12, the value of y, we substitute it into y. So 12 minus 10 is less than 2. Let's simplify 12 minus 10. And that should give us 2. So 2 is less than 2. So is 2 less than 2? Is that statement correct? Absolutely not. So 2 is not less than 2. So y equal to 12 is not a solution to the inequality. Okay, pretty easy. For our last problem, we have 25 minus v is greater than or equal to 15. And the given value for v is 10. So let's solve. 25 minus v is greater than or equal to 15. Now let's substitute the value of v to its given value, which is 10. So 25 minus 10 is greater than or equal to 15. Simplify 25 minus 10, and we know it is 15. Then copy the rest of the inequality statement. Now let's read it. Is 15 greater than or equal to 15? And the answer is absolutely. 15 is not greater than 15, but 15 is equal to 15. And our statement, our inequality statement states that it should be greater than or equal to. But so 15 is equal to 15, so it satisfies the inequality statement that states 15 is greater than or equal to 15. So V equals to 10 is a solution to the inequality. Easy.